Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's session of the Prepared Mind Initiative. If you are here for the first time, my name is Faridat Rashid, and I'm really excited to have all of you here tonight. I am the vision bearer, the founder, and CEO of the Prepared Mind Initiative, which is an NGO. Now, PMI for short, for the Prepared Mind Initiative, is a youth growth focus driven community. We focus on building students and young people become more intentional, prepared, visible, and equipped beyond the classroom through conversations, mentorship, exposure, and personal development. Now, what I want you to be very alert on is that tonight's session is very important, and we know that many people think financial discipline starts when you have salary, but please, that is not the case. You'll find out tonight. Stay engaged, please. Stay engaged, and I know that tonight's session is going to help all of us as students rethink how we approach money, discipline, habit, and intentional decision making earlier than you even expected, even before salary enters the picture. So please and please stay focused. Don't forget to subscribe if you are yet to, and click on the like button. And then as you move on, share the link, invite a friend, invite a colleague, talk to people about what we are building and the benefit of what you are going to get here. Don't forget to leave your insight in the comment section. In the middle of everything, you leave your questions in the chat box so that we can attend to you and leave here promptly. Now, as we move further, without much ado, I'm going to introduce you to our amazing speaker whose work and passion strongly align with financial literacy, and he has been helping young people build healthier financial habits early. Before that, let's have his biography. Yeah, as you all know, tonight's session is on smart money habits without a salary, and this session is going to help you do these three things. As it's on a flyer, we are not going to waste time on it. Now, about his biography, we know that our speaker is a graduate in finance, and not just a graduate but a first class degree graduate in finance from the best university in Ghana. If you want to argue with me on this or debate with me on this, please argue with your keyboard. That's just by the way. He's also a what? A chartered accountant, FMVA holder, and passionate financial literacy advocate. Ebenezer, our speaker, is deeply committed to helping young people understand money, opportunities, and intentional growth differently. Currently, he is working with IRIX Reinsurance Brokers. He combines technical financial expertise with a strong passion for making financial knowledge what? Practical, very important, and relatable, and also accessible, especially for students and young professionals trying to navigate life and career intentionally. He has also held a professional certification from globally recognized institution, as you can see there. And through his work and consistent financial literacy advocacy on LinkedIn, he continues to empower young people with the knowledge, mindset, and awareness needed to make smarter financial and career decisions early. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave your concerns in the chat before the session ends. Please, we need your comment in the question and the comment section. Sorry, we need your comment in the comment section. Thank you so much for making it to this far. If you are here with us, share the link to your school groups, DM a friend that needs to be here. You can always replay it. Now, join me as we welcome our speaker to come on stage. Now, before that, let's give him a huge round of applause as he gets to the yeah. Welcome. We are so happy to have you here. Please, the stage is yours. Take over.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Faridat. And good evening, everyone. And I hope you are all doing well. Um, I must start by commending PMI for this great opportunity. I'm really honored to be here to share my experience. And I must also commend them for the good work they are doing. This is really intriguing and it's very, very fascinating. For young people to really put together this wonderful idea, they deserve an applause too. So big shout out to all the organizers. They are doing a really great job. Now let's start. Why are we even here? A lot of people may ask themselves this question, but we've heard about money, 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 money. Money is taught from JHS, SHS, university. If you have the opportunity to know what money is in RME, religious and moral education, I don't know if most of you read those course in primary. In economics they teach about money, but what they fail to tell us is what we can really do with money and how we can grow or develop a habit of growing our money. So today we are going to talk about something most of us are aware but were not properly taught, even not in school, not our homes, and sometimes not even in the university. We are going to talk about how to build smart money habits at the best part. You don't need, the question is, you don't need a salary to start. Keep this in mind. Have an open mind and know that on LinkedIn, a lot of young people reach out to me. They ask me, but I'm not working. How am I supposed to save? If you go out there, you're speaking to um, SHS students, how do I save? I tell them that you are wrong. So tonight, you are privileged to also be here because we are going to, at the end of this session, you know exactly why and what to do even though you are not earning a salary. What we need in this room is your attention, your honesty, and your willingness to think a little bit different about money from today. Because after today's session, if you go out there, you should have a change mindset about money. So let's start. Slide one, it shows what we will be covering for today. We are going to talk about slide one, the first slide. Next slide. We'll talk about the difference between being rich and being wealthy. We'll look at savings versus investment, the common misconception about saving that keep people stuck, why saving actually matters, the different type of savings that you can start without a salary, and how you can control your spending, and finally the mindset that makes all this sick long after today. Now, I want you to be honest about yourself. There is going to be a, this is not going to be purely lecture. We are going to have conversation, we are going to ask questions, we are going to tell a story, we are going to chip in real life experience. So it's not going to really be a lecture. It's going to be an involving. So the next slide. All right. I love to do this when it's a one-on-one, face-to-face session. But since it's not a face-to-face session, I would like to ask these three simple questions, and you have to be honest with yourself. The first question is that, Have you ever received money doing this from Monday to today? Have you ever received money? It can be a pocket money, it can be a chop money, it can be a transport money, it can be a gift, it can be a stipend, any form of money. Have you ever received any form of money from Monday to today as we are talking? I know a lot of the most of you, the question will be yes, because a lot of us here, we don't take care of ourselves. By we don't take care of ourselves, we have guidance that support us. And if you take care of yourself, probably today is 29th, you've received your salary, so it's you've still gotten some inflow into your account. The second question is who still have some of the money left right now. From Monday, you receive money on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Do you still have some of the money left? That is the question. Ask yourself. I'm sure some are smiling, some are beginning to recount. What did I use this 200 CDs for? What did I use 300 CDs for? And then the next question is, do you know where every peswa of that money you receive went to? That is exactly the reason why we are here. If you can now account for what you've received, then it will be very difficult for you to save. Before you save, you need to know where your money is going to. So I know by this time a lot of people are asking themselves, some are smiling, some are also wondering that, hey, this my money, I spend a lot of them on this or a lot of them on this. But by the end of the letter, you will know exactly what you spent your money on and what you should spend on and what you should not spend on. So the next slide, we are going to take it step by step. So a lot of people know, or you've heard the statement, hey, Mr. Kofi is rich oh, Mr. This is rich oh, Madam this is very rich oh. And you hear some also, hey, this man is very wealthy oh, this woman is very wealthy. Perhaps a lot might think that these two words mean the same. There are similarities, but they seem different. Being rich is actually more a bit different from being wealthy. So let me ask this one again. Right now, if I tell you to close your eyes, imagine a rich person. Just imagine a rich person, or imagine yourself, people calling yourself rich. What will you have that people will call you rich person? I'm sure some of your answers will be that you have big cars, numerous cars, you have posh houses, you have designer clothes, designer watches, you have the latest iPhone 17 Pro Max. Those are the things you'll be thinking about, that when you see, you know that this person is very rich. And you are not wrong if you are thinking that way, because this is what rich looks like. And there's nothing wrong with these things. But there's one question that changes everything. What happens when the money stops coming in? That is the problem with becoming rich. You know, if you are not aware today, I can tell you that you can be rich for 1 week or 1 day and go broke the next day. That is rich, because today you can receive like 20 million Ghana cedis into your account, and you can decide to buy 4 houses, you can decide to buy clothes, cars, and by the end of the week the money will finish. Your richness has ended. So that is richness. You can be rich for a shorter period of time and go broke. But wealthy, if you are wealthy, it's not the case, because wealth just means that wealth is about what you own and what you have built, what continues working for you even when you are not working. So if you check the slides, you see that rich is having high income and visible or big visible spending. I will illustrate that with an example. And worthiness is having assets and money that works for you. So a lot of people tend to invest in projects that will return money to them. And those people, we say they are worthy because when their money that they have run out because of their investment, tomorrow there will still be money. So we talk about the rich people. You can just think about the rich people or the wealthy people. The richest people, you can be rich. Let me clarify, you can be rich and wealthy also, because you can have huge inflow and also invest that. So if we rank the richest people in the world, you know some of them: Bill Gates, um the owner of Tesla. If you come to Africa, you have Aliko Dangote. You have in Ghana, you can mention Ibrahim Mahama and few people. And those people, if you go and check them out, you will know that they've really invested huge sums of money in projects. Either they own businesses, and it's not just a businesses, and big ones for that matter. If you look at Elon Musk, what he's doing, so those are the things that we classify as being wealthy. So you look at the rich column. Rich depends on money constantly flowing in. So like I mentioned earlier, you can be rich, you can be the classical example when we are in university at SHS, those that um their parents do send them money often. They send them big money. We call them rich people, rich kid, because anytime money is coming in. So in our eyes, we call them rich people, but they are not worthy, because if next week mommy or daddy do not send money, they will be broke. So that's not um say they are worthy. So worthy is sustaining even without an income. So let me illustrate this with the example below. Let's take two people, a footballer, and pardon me for this, is just a random example I picked. A footballer and a teacher. So let's say a footballer earns 5,000 a month but spend 48,000 during that month. You see that his spending is very huge, and if they are very visible, a lot of us will say that they are rich. The footballer is very rich. The footballer is very rich because he looks rich. People celebrate him at party. His name is well known. But one day when they stop paying him, let's say God forbid, he gets injured or he goes on retirement. Look at the spending. You are spending 48,000 out of 50,000. It means that you have only 2,000 left. And this person, if he's spending that amount, trust me, the 2,000, by the end the month, and the 2,000 will also be gone. But let's flip it to the other side. Now let's take a teacher who earns 5,000 a month. He or she is able to save 5,000 every month without a fall. That means that consistently or constantly, the person is able to save 5,000 Ghana cedis, 1,005 Ghana cedis a month. Throughout, after 5 years, you know that you can own a plot of land. You can do the mathematics. If she is saving, if she saving 5,000 a month, by 1 year she's going to save 18,000. You can cross check with the math and see. If she does that for like 5 years, you see that she will be able to save 90,000, and that 90,000 at the end of 5 years she can buy a plot of land, she can start an investment account, she can keep growing, and when she retire or where she, the money and the investment will still be paying her. So now you understand the concept of rich and being wealthy. We at the end of the session, we want you to know so that you decide for yourself if you want to be rich, temporarily rich, or you want to be wealthy. So let's take the next slide. So the next slide is also um distinguishing between the two people. So let me tell you about two people you almost certainly know about them. You see them around the community, in our community in which we live. You can find them even in schools. Please, if the name matches someone you know, that does not mean the person is like that. So I'm begging you. This is for an illustration purposes. So let's take Uncle Kofi. When we take Uncle Kofi, you know Uncle Kofi shows up every time at the family gathering, driving new car. He's always well dressed. He pick he picks the bill when the family goes out. He picks the bill. He pays them. He buy drinks for the table. People talk about him a lot. Some if because he's the uncle, some of the parents must even tempt to tell you that, oh, you when you grow up be like Uncle Kofi. But at the end of the day, Uncle Kofi has zero saving. Uncle Kofi also rents. Uncle Kofi have one job. So you ask yourself, if Uncle Kofi loses his job today, where will be the income? But let's flip the coin. You take Auntie Ama. You barely notice her during those meetings. She drives a small simple car. She does not make noise about money, but she has been running a monthly susu for 3 years. She has been saving, and that saving has bought her a plot of land. She does well to pay her children's school fees. She works while she sleeps. That statement just means that aside her monthly income or her monthly job, she has other side job that is also paying her. So now you see the two example. Uncle Kofi Man seems rich, but he is just one job loss away from being broke. Once he loses his job, he will go broke. But on the side of Auntie Alma has saved. He has bought a plot of land. She has bought a plot of land, sorry. So in case she decides to even she loses her job, she can decide to even sell a plot of land and start something new. So between the two, we can say Uncle Kofi is rich, but Auntie Alma is worried. So now I want you to ask yourself this question. Do you want to become like Uncle Kofi, or you want to become like Auntie Alma? Now you know the difference between rich and wealthy. The next slide. So let's talk about the two tools that actually build wealth over time. So our focus is you are building wealth. Saving regularly means that you are building wealth. Don't take me wrong like that a rich person is not wealthy. But in the case that the illustration that we made, you can see that the two rich people, they don't have a backup and they don't save. So for those two people, we can say the footballer and Uncle Kofi, we can say that once they lose their job, they will go broke. But in reality, you can be rich and be saving towards godliness. Please, I hope the distinguishing is very clear. So now these two vehicles will take you from um the illustration of the footballer or Uncle Kofi to Auntie Ama and the teacher illustration we make. There are two things you need to do: savings and investment. I'll break it down so that we'll know exactly what the two means. So saving just means that setting aside money regularly. That money you set aside, it has low risk, it's easy to access. When we progress, we'll know the vehicles that or the ways you can save. Savings usually grows slowly, but it is very safe because savings does not come with risk. For instance, if you have a savings account, your money is there. Anytime you need the money, you can fall on and you get your money. If you are using Susutu, anytime you need the money, you can go and break it and you get the money. You get it. But investment is putting money aside for a return. So with the investment, there is some risk involved. For instance, investing in T-bills, even though T-bill is risk-free, but the risk involved is that if you are expecting an interest of 30% at the end of the year, the interest must come down as low as 8 or 9%, like we experienced ending of last year and beginning of this year. But know that investment grows faster over time because of the interest. Because if you decide, let's take the susu that we do for instance, if you decide to put 10,000 Ghana cedis into your susu box, at the end of the year, when you open the susu box, you will still have 10,000 Ghana cedis in it. But if you decide to go and put the 10,000 into your savings account, even if the savings account is returning 1% interest, at the end of the year you have 10,100. So you see that there's a movement of 100 cedis. That is why investment grows faster over time. Do we get it? Let's use an illustration. So let's say two university students, both are, let's say, 20 years old, both are receiving the same pocket money. One is called Kwame and one is called Abena. Kwame decides to invest straight away without any saving buffer. 3 weeks later, there's a family emergency and he needs cash urgently. He has to break the investment at a loss. He end up worse off than when he started. So if you are doing this, illustration is telling us that anytime you are saving or you are investing, you still need a buffer, something that you can still fall on. Along the line, you will get to know the strategies that you put in place so that one day, because in economics they say all other things is never equal, anything can happen, but we always pray against unfortunate events. That does not mean that they will not happen. So in the event when unfortunate thing happen, what will happen? When we get there, we'll talk about the strategies that you put in place to secure yourself when there's an unfortunate event. So the next slide, we are going to talk about the stories that people tell themselves, or the misconception or the myths that keeps students broke. I understand most of us here are students, and or most of us here are just beginners. We just start working, probably national service, or we are young graduates and young professionals. We have this misconception that we will always save when we earn more. But today, I'm here to tell you that that is not the case. Ideally, once you have any money coming in, being your feeding fee, being your stipend, being your chop money or whatever, you can still save, and you still have to save if you want to be wealthy, or if you want to have a stress-free future. You still have to find a way to save. The common lie people tell themselves is what I just spoke about. I will save when I earn more. And trust me, I don't know if anyone here can testify. The higher you earn, the higher your expenses. So if you sit there and say that you are waiting to earn huge money before you start saving, by the time you realize you are earning more but you cannot save, because your expenses will also increase. So those that can attest to that, I'm sure they are probably laughing, because if you are the kind of expenses you do when you are receiving 2,500 salary will be different when you are receiving 5,000. Because if you eat at Derby, you might change it to their Frankie's or something nice. You tell yourself, oh no, it's not always that I will eat at Derby. Today let me change it small, go to Edianepa, and let me pamper my time. You see. So if you say you are waiting, the time will always not come. Trust me, the time will not come. The next one is saving is for old people. That is what we have in our mind. That's, oh, me, I'm 22, I'm 18, I'm 17, I'm 15, I'm 25. I'll not even marry now. I'm not even paying school fees. I'm not even paying utilities. I'm not renting. Why do I have to save now? But you've forgotten that if you are 17 or if you are 15 years now, 10 years to come, you will be what? 25. The next 10 years, you will be 35. And if you are 20 years now, the next 10 years, you will be 30 years. You are nearing old age. So there's nothing like saving is for old people, because one day you will so grow old. The next myth that a lot of people lie themselves is my amount is too small. What I receive is too small. Today, I want you to know that the so so today I want you to know that there is nothing like small amount. It's just about discipline and consistency. You have to have the discipline. Saving and investment is very difficult at the tender age when you are not receiving any salary or any inflow. Saving is very difficult, trust me. That is why you need the discipline to be able to do that. If you receive um maybe 500 cedis from your parents as a student every month, and you decide to save 20 cedis a month, do the calculation. 20 times 12, you are just saving 20 cedis o. That is the savings habit you build. because you are receiving smaller amount. Just save small portion of it. If you save 20 cedi for 1 year, you will get 240. If you do it for 2 years, you are going to get 480. If you do it for 36 months, that is 3 years, you are getting 720. If you do it for 4 years, you are getting 960. That is somebody who is receiving as low as 200 cedis as stipend of monthly chop money. By the end of your 4 years in school, you would have something in your money, in your account to boast of. I hope you get it. The next one is a lot of, I hear this, the last one I hear it often. I need to enjoy life. I need to enjoy life. But a lot of people don't consider that in economics there is what we call opportunity cost. Forgive me for using economics course. I am of the economics background. So we have something we call opportunity cost. Once you are enjoying today, it means that you are choosing enjoyment today, and the next alternative you are foregoing is suffering tomorrow. That is the reality. The example I cited, somebody that is saving 200 cedis for the 4 years, you might end up having some money in your account. But what about that person who says, oh, let me enjoy life? By the end of 4 years, you have zero. Even if you are coming, you are packing your things to the house, you need to call home again for money. But this person that said he can take 200 cedis to take transportation home. That is the it means that the person gave up the enjoyment today and he is enjoying tomorrow. So these things, they are very low. You hear it often. The next slide says saving is not an option. That is why saving matter. The reason why here I am saying saving is not an option is that saving really protects you from emergency. Like I said, life does not always send you a calendar or a reminder that, oh, tomorrow something might go wrong, tomorrow this might happen, so stay alert. No, it doesn't happen that way. Something can happen just within a shortest period of time, and you need to fall on something. And if you have not, or you've not cultivated a habit of saving, it means that you will not have anything. You don't have any backup, and something has happened to you. What are you going to do? You don't have money to fall on. If you don't have savings, you might have a problem. If you have no savings, there's that person, anytime you have problem, you are in crisis because you don't have anything to fall on. The next one is saving builds your confidence and it makes you make better decisions. If you have the habit of saving, anytime you get money, you make a better decision because you know that if there are two products here, one lasts longer, one does not last longer, but one is more expensive than the other. Obviously, the one that will last longer will cost, all things being equal, should cost more than the one that will not last longer. So if you have that habit of saving, you know that, oh, I will save this amount. So it means that if I'm going in for these two goods, I have to go in for the one that will last longer so that I will not have to buy it again in the shortest possible period of time. And that money I can really save again. So if you have the habit of saving, you stop making desperate decisions. You stop saying yes to a lot of things. Some of the things you need to say no, because as a student or as a young professional or as somebody who is not receiving salary, you must not spend like somebody that receives salary, else you might find yourself in crisis anytime you have problem. You might learn to say no to certain outings, say no to certain impulse buying, say no to certain uh, desires, say no to certain cravings. The next one is savings create future opportunity. The critical example is the student that saves a month. For instance, the 200, the 500 cedi, the 300 cedi, the 20 Ghana, the 100 cedi, you save a month. At the end of the year, you see that when you add them, you have a huge sums of money. If you are in the university, it means that you are spending 4 years on campus. And at the end of the 4 years, it means that you have a substantive amount of money. Let's say you are saving 550 Ghana every month for the 4 years. At the end of the 4 years, you have 2,400, and you can tell yourself, I'm rich, because at your level you can also boast that you have this kind of amount in your account. And not all your colleagues must have that amount in their account. Maybe we are talking about theory. A lot of people might not understand, because some here they are practicing. They go through the tough time to save a peswa, 10 cedis, 20 cedis, 50 Ghana. We've already broken the myth that you don't need to get old before you start saving. You don't need to receive healed before you start saving. For instance, when we were campus, we started saving small. At the end of the 4 years, you have something small to start up your national service. If you are fortunate and you are born with a silver spoon, then that one you can solicit for support from your family. But if your case is not so, you will need to really fund yourself up for that. So the last point is it helps you to break generational pattern. That many people struggle not because they don't work enough. We can have a lot of people in our society that works very hard, that you know that, hey, this person he likes working, or she's very hard working, but at the end of the day they have nothing in their account because they fail to save a penny of what they have been making. Let's move on to the next slide. Yes. So I think let's take this one sharp there. So these are, for instance, the myth we already spoke about. You don't need to receive big amount. You don't need to wait when you start making salary before you start saving, because let's say the person that saved the 550 Ghana for a month for 4 years, the person is having 2,400. So it means that the person is not coming to start from a scratch. The person is starting from a solid ground of 2,400. And among your peers, if you you just completed and you have 2,400 in your account. Im- just imagine the feeling. Maybe if you have money you might not know, but if you don't have money you really will be happy about yourself. So the first saving that works for students at our level, you can look at the option of susu. This susu box that they sell around, we have the metal one, the one that has a locker. But mind you have to really keep it as a safe place, because you'll be really demotivated if you save for a longer period and you lose the money. If you are not disciplined that enough, you might not recover again. So you make sure that you keep it very safe. Susu is the most basic form of saving that has ever existed. That one, mind you will not have any interest. You just find your little bottle, your little container, your little box every month, every week, or every, it depends on your inflow. Every day you can even do every day, or when you go and buy stuff and you have 20 pesos, you go and put it, you have 4 cedi, you go and put it inside, you have 10 cedi, you go and put it inside. That is susu for you. The next option is the momo saving. You can also save with your momo, but that will be very tempting if you are not it's a separate account from your momo account, where you can push some of your momo to that place. So that one will not show in your total momo balance. So that if you are having fun with your momo balance, you will not squander that, or you will not spend that one together. So you push any little money you receive to their momo save. And every at a time, every quarter or at the end of the year, you will receive something small. The next one you can try is, as a student, especially if you are a university student, you have to try and have a bank account. And mind you, anytime you are a student and you are opening an account, go for the student account. You work in any bank of your choice with your Ghana card. They will just give you a form and your student ID, give you a form, you fill it, you save, you you open the account. Anytime you have money, you deposit. Because of technology, now you can have the bank account linked to your momo. So you don't need to be going to the bank often. If you have 200, 300 cedis, you send it, you push it. If you have 100 cedis, you push it. The next one is susu or group saving. So you can try that option, where a group of people save together, or many people do it this way. Maybe 5 people in a group, every month they will bring 50 Ghana, 50 Ghana. At the end of the month, they will give it to person A. The following month, they give it to person B. The following month, they give it to another person until the cycle ends. Then they start again. That is also another form of saving. Then we have the goal saving. The goal saving. The goal saving base is that one, you are saving towards a plan that, oh, I want to buy this new laptop. I want to buy these phones. I want to buy this. I want to buy that. So that you are saving purposefully for that item or commodity you want to buy. And once again, whatever you are buying should be something that will be of value and it will make really sense to you. The next one is emergency fund. That is one of the importance of all. A lot of people save without an emergency fund. So like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, in my presentation, you start saving, something happen, you don't have any money to fall on. All your life saving is gone. You have to use everything. But you have to have an emergency fund. That fund you take Anytime you are saving 50 Ghana, you put 10 cedis there. That one is purposely for that emergency fund. You use it. Maybe you are a national service personnel. Your younger brother calls you, oh big bro, big sis, I need 200 cedis to buy this, to buy this book. You should be able to go to the emergency fund. You give it to your brother. So that is very, very important. That is very, very important. So the next slide will show you a framework for every CD you receive. We can move on to the next slide. So the next slide, I am going to give you a practical way that you can account for every CD that you receive. It's a simple rule. The percentage here is not fixed. You can adjust it based on your needs and your goals. So the first one says save 20%. The 20, any money you receive, this simply means applies to any money you receive. So if you receive 500 cedis, it means that you are going to save 20%. If you receive 1,000 Ghana cedis, you are going to save 20%, and 20% is 200 cedis. That 200 cedis that you are saving is the first basket. So that one you save it for the future. So you save it towards your goal, your emergency, or you keep it for your wealthy or to be wealthy in the future. The 70% I deem it spend. This one depends on your spending ability and what you really spend on. So the 70% you spend it in your on transport, food, bills, and any other thing, your data, your airtime, your subscription, anything that you save on. Then 10% also for you can save it as a first investment, or you can use it to pay for your tithe, or you can save it to help any emergency as well. Do you get it? So in a nutshell, any money you receive, 30% is going to your saving. That is what is called the saving habit. It doesn't matter the amount, because once again, saving should be an act. It should be a conscious effort. You should have passion. You should be disciplined, because there will be a time that you feel not to save, but because of the discipline and the edge that you have, it will push you to save. There will be a time that you will need to buy things. What it means is that the 70%, if you are going by this rule, it means that all your spending within the money you receive, either you are receiving it weekly, daily, monthly, quarterly, or yearly, you must spend within the 70. But it is always advisable that you don't you can, if it is possible, you save or you spend lower than the 70% to be at the safer space. So now the next slide, I can see our time is really running, so I'm going to run through the next one. The next slide is really going to tell us how to control our expenses. This is if you have not been following me up to this time, or the start of the presentation is to open your mind gives you idea about what saving and investment is, why people tend to save, why others feel reluctant to save. But this is really the whole show. This is the show. We are starting from the actual show. So everybody sit tight. If you cannot control your expenses, then you cannot save. Take it from me. Once you are able to control your expenses, you cannot save. And our expenses is divided into two things: needs and wants. Needs are simply, the simple definition for needs is something or things that you cannot do away with, you definitely have to spend on. But the wants, you can close your eyes on them. So the example is the transport, your basic, your meals, what you eat. You can't go away, you can't starve yourself. In as much as you are saving, does not mean that you should starve yourself. Other than that, you get ulcer or you get a lot of health implications. So in as much as that you are saving, you should try to also balance your diet. But that does not mean that go and sit. If you are receiving, you check your income before you go and sit at chicken man pizza man. Your school fees, your handouts, your school materials, that is classified as needs because you cannot turn a deaf ear to that. Now there want, there are some things that you can minimize: the impulse buying, eating out daily, browsing through TikTok. You see, a lot of people nowadays complain. If you take to them, if I'm to run a survey right now, majority of your expenses is tied in your data that you buy, because nowadays data is very expensive and majority of us, we spend a lot on data, and data is never a need, it's a want. It depends on where you stand and what you want to do with your data. For instance, the data you bought now to join this program, you can classify it as a need because it's bringing some improvement, it's adding knowledge to yourself. But if you buy data, you sit on social media, browse through the whole day, at the end of the day, you finish 10 gig data, and 10 gig data is going to cost you like 70, 100 cedis. One day it's gone. So if you are using 10 gig data every day, just or 5 gig or 20 cedis data every day, just multiply it by the month and the year, you will know that you are spending a lot on data. We can move on to the next slide. So before we start with the developing a saving mindset, let me throw you this challenge. From today up to, from the start of the session to now, I am throwing you a challenge that for the next 7 days, you have to track all your expenses. Know what you are spending on. Make sure you write everything and make sure that any money you receive, you really save 30% as we went. You can save more than, but try that your saving will not be as low as 20% of whatever you receive. In that case, you might struggle. You might face crisis when there's a problem. So now we move on to developing a saving mindset. The first thing I will have to tell you is that stop waiting for the right time, because as I told you, the right time will never come. If you don't have the mindset, if you are not ready to commit, if you are not ready to go through the pain, If you are not ready to be disciplined, you might not have the right time. Because trust me, if your income now is 100 cedis, I'm not sure you are going to eat chicken man, pizza man. But if you have that luxury mindset that you always buy out, you buy from outside, trust me, if your income moves to 1,000, you start eating at chicken man, pizza man. You start eating Frankie's, you start eating at posh joints. So there is no right time. There's no right age, like we mentioned earlier. The time is now. So if you meet your friend, you tell them the time is now. There is no right time. There will not be a perfect moment to start. Your pocket money will never feel enough. If you are not ready to save, your pocket money will not always be enough. But every day, time is working against you. The reason is that if you are 20 years today, the next 5 years will be 25 years. The next 5 years after the 25 years, you will be 30 years. If you are a man, you will be nearing marriage. If you are a woman, say, so tell me, when is the right time? The right time is today. Remove any visuals or any wallpaper from the equation. Do not trust yourself to save whatever is left. The mistake a lot of people do today, nowadays, when it comes to financial um, intelligence or finances, is what people say that I will always save when after spending. It's always wrong. You always save first before you spend. Because let's say if you have 1,000 cedis and you tell yourself that I'm going to spend, after the rest I will save, you go and do shopping and you will not come out, you will not come back with even 1 cedi. But if you tell yourself, I am going to pay myself or save first before I go and spend, you've saved 20-30%. It means that you've saved 200 cedis out of the 1,000. You know you have 70%. So that will prompt you the bigger decision that as I'm going to the mall, I have only 700 cedis. But if you go to the mall with 1,000 that I will come and save the rest, you will end up taking quick loan and add to the 1,000 cedis before you come. So you will not have anything. But if you set aside 30 cedis, 300 before you go, you know you have only 700. So if something is tempting you, come and buy me, come and buy me, you check the 700. If I buy you, my 700 will finish you, then you pass. I hope you will all get it. Then make a progress. Let your progress be visible. Watch your savings grow. Calendar every small win. Like I said, at the end of the year, you have 2,400. You go, open your account, watch it, smile that you are also rich. You are worthy by 2,400. It's an achievement. That will always make you happy that no, if I am able to do 2,400 a year, it means that next year I can do 4,800. Next 2 years you can do more than that. So document your wins. Protect your savings from yourself. That is very, very important. Struggles may come at the along the line. Savings might not always be smooth. Sometimes it might be tempting. You might be craving for something, but you always have to protect your savings from your build a community around financial growth. So find friends who talks about money making, those who spend or conserve money, those who have the financial mindset. Choose those who always choose to grow their money. not friends that, oh, let's go here, let's go and party, let's do this. Mind you, we are not all the same. Kwame now might be partying the whole year and will still have 40,000 in his bank account. But you, if aside partying, at the end of the year, you are not even saving for your financial discipline. I'll do something very simple on the next slide, then we'll move on. Before we close, I want you to this slide, things to learn and things to embrace. We'll go through very quickly, and then we'll be wrapping up the session. So the first thing on the list to learn is ideas we pick somewhere along the way that are quite hurting our financial future. Saving is what you do with the leftover. We've already spoken about it. Please delete it from your financial literacy dictionary today, that you will always save before you go and spend. If you are tempted to go and spend before you come and save, you will have none left. I am too young. We've already spoken about that. Financial freedom is only for the rich people. It's always wrong. I know that if you go through the richest people in the world, or even in the world, or even in Ghana, or even in our society, there are some of them that started very rich, but there are most of them that also have to pay this financial discipline before they are here. They are where they are today. Because even though, if you are even rich and you don't even have the financial discipline, in the next 10 years, if we are counting rich people, your name will not be mentioned. So you have to unlearn that. Saving is a plan, not the leftover. It's embrace it, that I always have a plan. Any money I receive, 30%, I'm going to put it down. Not less than 20%, at least 20%. I have to put it down. Have it at the back of your mind that there will always be an encounter, but you have to fight it. That is what we call the discipline. The habits that you build not to follow into your current years. Financial freedom belongs to disciplined people, regardless of their. I like this. If you are disciplined, trust me, no matter the amount you earn, you can become financial. You can have something to mention of or to boast of at the end of your working period, at the end of your school, 4 years in school, at the end of your 3 years in JHS, at the end of your national service. If you have the discipline to save. The next slide. We are almost there. So this is just a challenge to you. All what I've gone through today, I am trying to tell you that there is no time. There is nothing like I'm young. There is nothing like I have low income. There's nothing like me. I don't receive much like Kofi. Kofi used to get 20,005 from the parents every week. Me, I get only 500 cedis. Trust me, you can save at the end of the year more than Kofi if you are financially disciplined. So your commitment starts today. Starting from today, when whatever or whenever you receive money, put aside 10% before you even start saving. Do this for 30 days, just 30 days. You know the result. The result will push you to even do more in the next coming month. The next slide. I think this is the last but one slide that we we this is just so. Before I wrap up, I am going to give you a call to an action, and I'm going to give you a practical guidance. This is not on the slide. So what it means is that if you are listening to me, I intentionally omit it so that at the end of the day you will put something on paper. So before you sleep today, we've spoken about money, how to grow our money. Savings is for everybody. And today you are promising that you are starting today. How do you start? That is the question a lot of people might also start. So before you sleep tonight, or anytime you watch this recording, before anytime you chance on this video, before you sleep, take your pen, write down anything you spend on that day you are going to sleep. So if it is today, write down anything you have spent on food, transport, anything you've used your money that you've received from your parent or your salary or your stipend. Write it. You can write it on your note, your notebook, your diary, or your notebook on your phone. Notebook manager, we have apps like Spendy. You can write it there. As you are writing, be careful, do not judge, just record them. You are recording, do that for 30 days. Once you are done, that exercise will tell you, I am spending a lot on food, I am spending a lot on airtime, I am spending a lot on this. The first part of the exercise is telling you, it's just will help you to know where your spending is going to, because I told you, anytime you don't know where your spending is going to, it's very difficult to macho your saving discipline. Now after you've written everything without judging yourself freely, now then you ask yourself three questions. What did I spend the most on? Then the second question, what I spent most on, was it necessary or I can avoid it? So after that exercise, you ask your first question. The second question will tell you, "Oh, I spent a lot on data, but now I am going to cut the time I spent on social media. I spent a lot on food. The reason is that I buy a lot outside. If I'm a university student, I can cook. Why don't I start cooking? If I'm a young professional, I'm doing my national say I can see I spend a lot of food and transport. Maybe possibly you pick Uber. Why am I not going to pick trotro this time? So the idea is to track your expenses and plan on the ways to reducing it. Now after you've tracked all your expenses, tally them into a simple basket. Place them into a simple basket. The first one is the first basket, I call it survival. What is in survival? The survival could be your needs. Remember, we've spoken about needs. So the survival will have to be the rent, the food, the transportation, your utilities. Is what I term as survival. The next basket is obligation. That will have to do with the bills, your loans. Some of us, we have Netflix subscription. If you ask your question, is it necessary? Can I avoid it? If it's not necessary, you can avoid it. Then the next bucket is the lifestyle. The lifestyle will have to do with eating outside, entertainment. Some people would like to go outing every month, go and have fun, sit, just order ice cream, order catfish and enjoy. You segregate that one too into lifestyle. Then the data, the bundle, the airtime we buy is also part of the lifestyle, because from today You can take it from me that you can minimize the amount of data you buy through the usage. Then the fourth basket is the future. The future will have to do with the saving, the investment, and the emergency fund. So we've learnt a lot. Thank you genuinely. Thank you for being here. Thank you for staying engaged. And thank you. I am urging all of you to start now. Start today by following the simple three things. Track all your expenses. Ask your questions. What did I spend on? Was it necessary? Was it avoidable? Then you place all of them into the four baskets: the survival, obligation, lifestyle, and future. Thank you very much. I am I will take questions now.
Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, everyone, for joining tonight's session. And please, we hope tonight's conversation has challenged you, your thinking. It has opened your eyes to healthier financial habits and reminded you that intentional growth, it doesn't start after you've graduated. Okay, it starts now. Now, level 100, early university student, whatever stage you are now, or you're about to enter university, it starts now. Now, a very big thank you to our speaker for such an insightful, practical, and impactful session. Honestly, personally, I am really grateful. I appreciate your time, knowledge, and value shared with us tonight. And to everyone who joined, engaged, and commented, shared, stayed throughout the session, thank you for being part of the PMI vision and community. And I'm hoping, or PMI hopes, that you leave tonight not just transformed or informed, but more what intentional. Please do not let tonight's session end here. I beg you. I am very, very particular about um, reflecting on them, applying them, and then growing from what? It. In fact, let me show my face. Where is it? Please, let's reflect on these things. Let's apply them. We shouldn't end here. And please, if this session has impacted you in any way, kindly share your biggest key takeaway in the comments before you leave. We beg you. You guys have not been commenting at all. It's not nice. Kindly share your comments and your key takeaways in the comment section. We are looking forward to questions. So the questions are not coming. We spent much of our time here. It's past an hour, but since we are yet to get the questions, if you have your question after watching the replay, you can put it in the comment section. We would attend to you. Don't forget to share the link to somebody. Save a life. Do not be a gatekeeper. Again, I repeat, reflect on it, grow from it, apply them, and then share it with your colleagues, your friends, your siblings, whoever they are. In waiting for your questions, or in the absence of none, we want to let you know that PMI has been holding different sections in the past, and we are looking forward that you've actually watched for the session so far. We have going from the inside out. This one talks about how you use your inner abilities to provide excellent results, like the battles you fight within yourself. We get the result, people see it, but they don't know the battles within it, how you grew, how you had to delay yourself some gratification and all of that. And then AI content creation, we know we are in the world of AI, so yeah, we had to bring this on board, how to monetize YouTube, AI content creation and all of that. And then the next we've had is real world skills. Real world skills, this one talks about digital skills, those who want to actually apply skills beyond whatever that is taught in the classroom. When you enter the real world, you have a lot of skills you need to embody or have. that will make you stand out among other people. Imagine you're a first class student and you have other real world skills. You stand out. Do you understand? You stand out among other people. And then life beyond the classroom. You are in the classroom, you have different things going on. Why do you think that you would be somebody that would actually embody some of the things that are not being taught in the classroom? Now, let me tell you the difference between the real world skills and the life beyond the classroom. Real world skills talks about the skills in the real world. Do you understand? When you come to reality, do you get it? Some of the digital skills you will find out from the speakers. He's been in the industry for 5 good years and he's in his early 20s. He's not old or that old. Elon Gabi, he's doing so much, so you can learn from his journey. Miss Priscilla, life beyond the classroom. She also talked about the things that you are supposed to learn whilst you are in school outside the classroom. What are the things that you learn whilst you are there? You find out more. I don't want to talk much. Audacity and impact. Some people are very slow. Their confidence are fading, and all of that. You need to watch this session. Mr. Kelvin, he's the valedictorian during our by the whole humanities and legal studies. He also brought his A game during the session. And we have our honorable Bernard Safu Kantaka. He talked about faith, he talked about career and academics. How do we align these three? How do we work together and make sure that we are not misaligned with life? Sometimes you can have great academic record and you don't feel fulfilled in where you are in life, or you don't even have job, you are just at home, you don't know your left to right, you don't know what's next, but you have really good grade. Somebody commented that he or she was the best student, but then he feels empty. He's the best student in the university when they completed, oh, but then he feels empty. This session gives you a path or a way for you to align these three. They work together hand in hand. If your faith is missing whilst you are chasing the other two, then it means there is something wrong. These three must give you fulfillment in life. That is what the session was about. Now, the next session that we had was how this particular lady here went from first class to second class to first class in the same year. She was lucky enough to have known that this is what I'm supposed to do to be able to get first class. She was able to learn faster in her, I don't know whether first or second semester during her final her first year. So yes, I don't know why I'm moving so fast because of time. So yes, learn from her journey. And she also, this particular session was 2 in 1. She talked about public speaking skills. She's a com student. She brought her A game. She actually um outdid herself in this one. Now, today's session, you are here, you've witnessed it, oh, you can come back and watch the replay. Honestly, in this life, even if you're a Christian, whatever religion you are, and whatever career path you are going or narrowing in life, you need your finances on in the right direction. Okay, so financial literacy is very important. I'm so glad that we brought this particular session to life. It gives me so much joy that our speaker actually brought his dedication and willingness to actually share this with us. Please do not let his effort go to waste. Let's make use of these sessions. Do not say, oh, it's 1 hour plus, it's 2 hours, this, that. Do you know the number of hours people been watch other funny entertainment videos? But when it comes to something that will add value to you, please, one thing I'll tell you is that wherever you find yourself, make sure you leave your mark. Let people remember you or know that, oh, this person did this. Let them remember you with value. Do not leave a place without actually leaving a good mark. Let them remember you and know that this person did this person did that. Without much ado, in the absence of any question, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share this channel to your friends, your colleagues, your school groups, and all of that. I'm Farida Trashidi. This is the first time you're meeting me, the founder, the vision bearer of PMI, the Prepared Mind Initiative. Leave your comment in the chat box. We'll be attending to you, and that will be all for tonight. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you.
Okay, Fari,
Let's
before
take
before
okay.
we end the session, um so today maybe probably I know a lot of people skip video to watch the last part of it. Most of the time it happens a lot. So this is a call, this is a challenge to all of us. Today you've learned that you can really save even if you are receiving 100 cedis. You can save if your national service is 559, if it's 750, if it's 1,000 you can save. If you are a salary worker, if you receive your stipend every week, this is what I want you to do. You can set a reminder every month. Then the reminder will tell you, because now all of us have a phone. Have you saved? Have you saved? You see, just set something to remind you every day that have you saved, have you saved, because before you save you need some courage, you need some effort, you need some motivation, you need some promptness, you need discipline above all. So set a reminder, get a friend who will remind you, have you saved, have you saved, have you invested. Make sure you ask yourself that question every day, every night. Trust me, don't save less than 10% or 20% of whatever you receive. Once again, my name is Ebenezer Eduakwa. If you want further conversation, if you want advice on where to save, maybe you have money, you want to put it in a good use, you want to invest it, you want to know more about investment, you can always reach out to PMI in their comment section. I'm sure they will give you my details. Thank you very much for making today a success. I wish you all the best, and I believe that you are all going to save for the better future tomorrow. Have a nice evening.
Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Iben, are you done?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
All right, all right.